Once, long ago, in a land far away, there lived four little characters who learned through May, looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy. Two were mice, named Sniff and Scurry, and two were little people, being worse as small as mice, but who looked and acted a lot like people today. Their names were Ham and Hoa. Due to their small size, it would be easy not to notice what the four of them doing, but if you look close enough, you could discover some most amazing things. Every day, the mice and the little people spend time in the maze looking for their own special cheese. The mice sniff and scurry, possessing only simply this brain, but with good instinct, search for the hard, nippling cheese they liked, as mice often do. The little people, Ham and Hoa, use their brain, feel the remaining belief, to search for the different kind of cheese with a capital C, which they believe will feel happy and successful. As different as my little people were, they share something in common. Every morning they each put on their jogging suit and running shoes, left their little home and raced out into the maze, looking for their favorite cheese. The maze was separate curtains chamber, some containing delicious cheese, but there were also dark corners and blind alleys leading nowhere. It was an easy place for anyone to get lost. However, the lost found there, the maze held secrets to win better life. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, used the simple trial-and-error method of finding cheese. They ran out one corridor and they proved that they turned the land down another. They remembered corridors have no trees and quickly reached new areas. Sniff or smell of the direction of cheese, great nose, and Scurry realized ahead. They got lost, as you might expect, very often wrong direction and often bumped into the wall. However, the two little people, Ham and Hoa, had very complex brain. With their real emotion, the main life of maze are more complicated and challenging. They realize more sophisticated math than the cheese, independently believe things can learn their past experience of their ability was sometimes clouded by the way looked at things. Eventually, in their way, they all discover what they're looking for. They each found their own kind cheese one day at the end of one of the calendar in Cheese Station C. Every morning after that, the mice and little people dressed in their learning gear and headed toward Cheese Station C. It wasn't long before they each experienced their routine. Sniff and Scurry continued to wake early every day and race the maze, always following the same route. When they arrived at their destination, the mice took off their running shoes, tied them together, hung them around the neck, so they could quickly whenever they need to do it again. Then enjoy the cheese. In the beginning, Ham and Hoa also raced to a cheese station C every morning to enjoy the tasty new morsels and wait them. But after a while, a different routine set in for the people. Ham and Hoa awoke each day a little later, dressed a little slower, and walked to cheese station C. After all, they knew the cheese wasn't how to get there. They had no idea where the cheese came from or to put there. They just assumed it would be there. As soon as Ham and Hoa arrived at cheese station C each morning, they settled in and made themselves home. They hung up their jogging suit, put away their running shoes, and put on their slipper. They're becoming very comfortable now they have found the cheese. This is great, Ham said. There's no cheese that lasts forever. The little people felt happy and successful and thought they were secure. It wasn't long before Ham and Hoa regarded the cheese found at Cheese Station C as their cheese. It was such a large store of cheese they eventually moved their home to be close to it and bestowed social love around it. To make this fierce home, Ham and Hoa decorated the wall with stain and even drew a picture of cheese around them, which made them smile. One read, "Having cheese makes you happy." Sometimes having what with their front fighters their pile of cheese station C and pointing with pride, saying, "Pretty nice cheese, huh?" Sometimes they shared with their friend, and sometimes they didn't. "We deserve this cheese," Ham said. "We deserve everyone how you signed it." He picked up the nice fresh piece and did it. After all, Ham fell asleep, as he often did. Every night the little people would run home full of cheese, and every morning they were confident to return for more. This went on quite some time. After a while, Ham and Hoa's confidence grew into the arrogant success. Soon they became so comfortable they didn't even notice what was happening. As time went on, Sniff and Scurry continued their routine. They arrived there early each morning, and Sniff and scratched and scurried around the cheese station C, inspect the area there to see if there had been any change over the day before. Then they would sit down and nibble on the cheese. One morning they arrived at cheese station C and discovered there was no cheese. They weren't surprised, since Sniff and Scurry noticed the fried cheese had been getting smaller every day. They were prepared for never and knew instinctively what to do. They looked at each other, removed the running shoes they tied together, hung convenient around their neck, put them on their feet, and laced them up. The mice did not overlearn anything. To the mind, the problem and the answer were both simple. The situation in Station C had changed, so Sniff and Scurry decided to change. They both looked out at the maze. Then Sniff lifted his nose, Sniff, and nodded to Scurry, who took off running through the maze, while Sniff followed as fast as could. They were quickly off in search of new cheese. Later that same day, Ham and Hoa arrived at cheese station C. They were not prepared with attention small changes that had been taking place each day, so they took for granted their cheese over there. They were unprepared for what they found. "What? No cheese?" Ham yelled. He continued to yell, "No cheese? No cheese?" As though if you shouted loud enough, someone would put it back. "Who moved my cheese?" he hollered. Finally, he put his hands to his hips, his face turned red, and he screamed at the top of his voice, "It's not fair!" Hoa just shook his head in disbelief. He, too, had counted on finding cheese at cheese station C. He stood there for a long time, frozen with shock. He was just not ready for this. Ham was learning something, but Hoa didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to deal with what was facing him, so he just tuned everything out. The little people behaved not very interactive, productive, but it was understandable. Finding cheese wasn't easy, and meant a great deal more little people just to have enough of the eating every day. Finding cheese was the little people's way of getting what they don't need to be happy. They have no idea what cheese meant to them, depending on their taste. For some, finding cheese was having material things. For others, it was enjoying a health or developing a spiritual sense of well-being. For Hoa, cheese just meant feeling safe, having a loving family someday, and living in a cozy cars on chartered land. To him, cheese was becoming a big cheese or in charge of others and owning a big house top Camembert Hill. Because cheese was important to them, two little people spent a long time trying to decide what to do. All they could think of cheese looking around cheese station C to see if the cheese was really gone. While Sniff and Scurry had quickly moved on, Ham and Hoa continued to him and Hoa. Hoa started to get depressed. What would happen if the cheese wasn't there tomorrow? You may search a planet based on cheese. The little people couldn't believe it. How could this happen? No one was wondering. Wasn't it right? It is not the way things are supposed to be. Him and Hoa went home at night hungry and discouraged. But the fruit they left, Hoa wrote on the wall. The more important your cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it. The next day, Ham and Hoa left their home and returned to Station C again, where they still expected to somehow define their cheese. The situation had been changed. The cheese was no longer there. The little people know what to do. Ham and Hoa just stood there immobilized like two statues. Hoa shut his eyes as tight as he could, putting hands over his ear. Each just wanted to block everything out. He didn't want know the cheese supply gradually in getting smaller. He believed it moved. All of a sudden, Ham analyzed the situation over and over. The mensually complicated brain with his product took hold. Why did they do this to me? He demanded. What's really going on here? Finally, Hoa opened his eyes, looked around, and said, By the way, where are Sniff and Scurry? Do you think you know something we don't? Ham scoffed. What would they know? Ham continued. They're simple months. You just spend what happened. We're little people. We're special. We should be able to figure this out. I know you're smaller, Hoa said. Well, you seem to acting smaller at the moment. Things are changing around here, Ham. Maybe we need to change. Do something differently. Or why should we change? Ham asked. We're little people. We're special. This sort of things not happen to us. We're does. We should at least get some benefit. Why should we get benefit? Hoa asked. Because we're entitled, Ham claimed. Entitled to what? Hoa wanted to know. We're entitled to our cheese. Why? Hoa asked. Because you're going to call this problem, Ham said. Somebody else did this and we should get some out of it. Hoa suggested. Maybe we should stop analyzing the situation so much and just get going and find new cheese. Oh no, Ham argued. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. While Ham and Hoa were still trying to decide what to do, Sniff and Scurry were already well on the way. They went farther into the maze, up and down corridor, looking for cheese. Every cheese station they'd find. They didn't think of anything else for finding new cheese. They didn't find any for some time until they finally went to every amazing, never been before cheese station inn. They squealed with delight. They found they're looking for a great supply of new cheese. They could hardly believe their eyes. It was the biggest store of cheese the mice had ever seen. In the meantime, Ham and Hoa were still back in Cheese Station C, evaluating their situation. They were now suffering from the effects of having no cheese. They were becoming frustrated, angry, and were blaming each other for the situation they were in. Now and then, Hoa thought about his mice friend, Sniff and Scurry, and wondered if they found its cheese yet. He believed they might be having a hard time, as running through the maze usually involves some uncertainty. But he also knew that it was likely to run left for a while. Sometimes Hoa would amazing Sniff and Scurry finding new cheese and enjoying it. He thought about how could it be for him to be out of the adventure in the maze and to find fresh new cheese. He could almost taste it. The more clearly Hoa saw it, amazed him